Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are a little late. We are doing the prompt for one little word for 2023. Usually in the past, it has been a vision board, which I will be honest, I most likely will still do a vision board, but the assignment or, prompt encouragement was to create a manifesto. And so with my previous videos, awareness of trying to play more with my mixed media, I wanted to do something creative where I played with mixed media, incorporated an image, and I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Felicitas, who is on the ambassador team for this workshop. She is the woman that lives in Germany that does a lot of mixed media and incorporates her photos into it somehow in a very creative way. So I'm trying to do that. What I took also inspiration, a lot of people also did like blow up photos of themselves, or not blow up, but, and then did a lot of text in the background for their manifesto. And I liked that idea too. So we're going to kind of mold both of them together. So to recap though, or to see what I've already done. Well, okay, let's start here. These long cards are a part of the Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards. And since I don't really do like overall, I'm just not going to use them in my 6x8 album. My stories are chronological, but I don't want to demarcate them with this. And since I do Project Life, and that's 12x12, I see no need for them. So I had January and February sitting here. And then I just thought that I would use them actually in one little word, since I am demarcating the months, and I'm going to put like another selfie picture with it and then do sort of like a reflection. So I have February's ready to go, and I went back and I did January. So I do have to do the journaling for this one. And yeah, and then what I also did off camera was print a selfie already for February and put it on those little like Polaroid frames, and I've already included it here in the front where I'm going to have all 12 selfies there. So in essence, I'm going to have 2 selfies for my album per month. The one that kind of goes here on a 3x4, and then with the subscription having one kind of here as well, which I do like. Okay, now for a little bit of the creative side. So I've already cut my cardstock that I will be using, and I wanted to make it seem seamless, and I figured out a way that is also going to help me in 6x8. So here is a normal page protector. All right, the holes line up, but as you can see, I left some room on the bottom and extra room into the spine where we have it. Why I did that is because I want it still to line up with the top of the page, because I'm using the dividers that came in this album that have the little tabs per month on the top. But there's this extra room here on the bottom. So I wanted it to be as big and long as possible. So that's what I did. So I punched the hole so that it would exceed into that dead space right down here. And I'm okay with it not lining up. So if someone's OCD and doesn't like that, this won't work. And then what I've also done, as you can see, is leave extra room in the middle, because what I wanted to have it, once this is in here, it will meet, is why I did that. So that way I can, in essence, paint this up, stencil it up, do the thing, and then I can put it in the top part. The little tabs will still see. It comes down lower and it meets in the middle, and that will look really cool. And then you just see the rings. So I have to keep this in mind, because if you saw my last video, let me show you what I mean. If you saw my last video, my 6x8, I had done a full photo page. This one was one of my last 6x8 videos. And we always do it so that, we copy the page protector, which is the smart way, and the holes are punched. But you'll always see the center of the binder ring. So I need to remember that, to just leave on that extra ½ inch so that the picture will look like that in the album without a break, and won't see this. So in essence, this is what I've been doing, which is fine. It's fine to see the binder break, but to have it close there for some of these would be really cool. And it closes fine. So then once you have everything, say, on one side, I'll show you, yeah, it sticks out a little bit, the white cardstock, because I also did it to the page before, but I'm okay with that. So if you're not okay with that, then that might bug you. But for me, I'm rolling with it. So what I want to do is just paint, have fun a little bit, paint the whole background. I was going to use one of my mono prints, but I didn't want to do decoupage because it would make the cardstock too wet and warped. And then in true Felicitas way, I printed out a photo of me that I made black and white, and I eliminated the background. I can do that on my iPhone in the portrait setting. And so, and then I'm going to adhere myself here somewhere. I thought probably mostly on this side. And then in essence have in my Posca paint pens, I have the Posca paint pens ready to go. And I have the acrylic Archer and Olive acrylographs. These are paint pens too that I haven't used, ready to go to kind of write out those manifesto statements or sentences and stuff. So that's what we're doing. So follow along, you know, stay with me. We're just, you know, covering it. So I'm doing a palette of like pink, peach, and like a light blue and a light gray color. And then for any stenciling, I think I'm going to do, I haven't played with these. I bought these from Prima Art Academy metallic. This one's just acrylic paint, but they're metallic paints. Literally bought them, have never used them. They're shimmery paints. So I thought once I paint with the matte, I will do any stenciling with these and then do my words and stuff with those. And then we will incorporate the photo and make sure that that blends into the background. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started on this mixed media. Now, let me highlight clearly that this is the most simplest approach to it that you can start. And all I'm doing is taking a few colors. You can choose the colors of your liking. Just get maybe 2 different size paintbrushes and just go brush stroke crazy on your piece of paper, canvas, or wherever you are working. This does not have to be a hard process whatsoever for you. So as you can see, I am just starting in my mind with like the darker colors and then work my way down to the lighter ones, because at least in that remark, they will show on top of it and not interfere. So if I showed it with the light ones, everything, the lighter colors would get blocked, if you know what I mean. So like you see, just brush strokes. I really want you to see this as a very approachable gateway into mixed media, in case you've been intimidated for far too long on this process, or even what other mixed media artists do. It's just that they have practice and they get just comfortable making markings. And that's all I'm doing with this second size brush, is just taking the blue now, because it'll stand out against the pinks and the corals, and doing little markings. I'm just dabbing it on. That's as big as the brush is. And then I go in actually now with some white and the thinnest brush possible, and I do these markings. Now don't get me wrong, I go ahead and I do it across the page. It looks fine, but for me, I didn't like any of it, the white parts. So I easily just take the paintbrush I was using, the pink, and cover it up, which I'll show you shortly. So for some, that might be just fine. Like, you could like it and you're just like, okay, I got some markings, and I could have gone in with some black too. But for me, I was looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't like it. I'm going to cover it up. See? And it's gone, and it still looks good, and there's another layer of paint. And that's usually a tip too. Always go in with like your bigger painting color, you know, for the bigger background first, and then you can go in with your stenciling. You could go in with stenciling first too, but just know that most of it might get covered up when you go in with these big brush strokes. So paint first, you know, and here too, you could have left some white space available. That could have been an avenue as well. So for me, I'm just taking these stencils. I think I hauled these from Tuesday Morning. These are from Vicky Boutin, and I'm using those metallic paints I had mentioned in the beginning that I have not touched yet, but did purchase from Prima. And this one's kind of like the gold coppery color, and I'm doing a floral stencil. I just thought that popped rather nicely. And you can continue. You could use any stencil that you have, even if it's just like kind of polka dots or some sort of grid. That would give you a nice effect here too. You can go in with multiple stencils and multiple colors, which you will see me start to do as well. And it just gives that depth to the background pages. Okay, that is the first layer so far of just the haphazardness of that 15-minute session. What I want to do now is just, well, I tried a few like distress stains. That's what's here in these colors. But on top of the matte acrylic paint, they're not really working too well. They will dry fine, so maybe I'll do more of like the silver circles. I also had a gray out, but in an attempt to bust out my supplies, I have the Neo crayons. These are Neo crayons. What are they called? Yeah, Neo color crayons. These react with water. I also have watercolor pencils. So, and these are all like brand new. As you can see, the price tag's still on it. They haven't been used. I used to be big into this, I tell you guys. So these are some of the ones I just pulled randomly, so I don't have to take out all of them. So let's just do some scribble marks and water some of them down and just add to this background, okay? Okay, so let's get started with the markings with these crayons and watercolor pencils. I'll be honest, as you see me do this, you see just scribbles, and I'm just going into town and doing little hash marks and stuff and adding a little bit of water. I'll be honest, I go in with the crayons, and then you'll see me going with the watercolor pencils, and I do not like the look of this. Now, don't get me wrong. I think maybe it's because the colors were like, I try to get more like darker colors, like the blues and the darker purples and stuff. And I just felt like they deterred from what I was going with. So maybe if I had grabbed maybe some orange, pinks, and coral colors from my collection, it would have gone a little bit better. But you can see, and don't get me wrong, even if you did this and say I liked it, it still looks good. I think that's the beauty of mixed media. Even if it looks like a jobbled mess, it's still considered mixed media. You're using more than one form of media to create art. So I attempted it. I don't really like it. So you can see I had to stop that because I was sopping up some of the water. And then I go in with the watercolor pencils. And I was having the same effect. These products are amazing, just not on this project. That's why I have a whole set of them, because I do love their effect. So instead, I was like, you know what? Let me just go in with more stenciling. So this was a 3-pack of stencils. It is Vicki Boutin. This is one of the other ones, and I do use all 3. And now I'm going in with the pink, that soft pink metallic paint. And as you can see, it gives the faintest pattern in the back, which I actually like, but it does have shimmer. So as you tilt the paper, you will see that pattern through the stencil even more. Love the way this looks. And I do it again with the like minty blue color of the mixed media and it looks really good. Okay, so these are dry, and now it's time for all of the big words and themes for the month. I have a few Posca paint pens ready to go, and I've primed some of these acrylographs. I took like the purples, I took the green, dark green, and a gray, because they start off like blank little things like this, so priming them, you know, well, if you know, is just kind of holding them down. And then I started writing them out just so I can kind of get a feel for it, but then I thought, oh my god, I'm wasting my pen on this, so let's not use this on there, you know. And then I was priming this one kind of got gross because it was leaking. So all right, so I also took out the value sheet. I had it highlighted, but now I just have it on my desk over here. So there are a few like 12 core things like creativity, community, family, efficiency. My word is balance. So balancing my health, balancing those things. So in essence, I just want to write like maybe balance your life rather big, and then everything else is going to be smaller around it. And I think that's the way we're going to go to finish up this project. So let's get started. So let's add my phrases for my manifesto. So my big title will be Balance Your Life, which I do try to stagger on this page in my own handwriting, and it comes out okay. And then I try to write the word creativity in red Posca paint pen, and that came out okay. And then I'm using the acrylographs as well for some of it, but since it's a fine tip, they come out okay. And don't get me wrong, this is part of that process. Is it my most favorite piece of mixed media artwork that I've ever done? No. Am I a year rusty in my creative juice flowing? Yes. But is it a valiant attempt at getting back into this groove and this practice of mixed media, because I do like playing with my art supplies? 100%. So, do I love my final project? And I will go into it in my outro. Not 100%, but this is the thing, everyone. You have to start somewhere. And that's part of, I think, with one little word is allowing us to do is to start where you are in your life with your word, with your life, and journey along with it so that you can see that progress that will inevitably occur. So I do vow to kind of do one mixed media page like this for all the prompts in this book. That way, as you will see come December, it probably will get better and better. You know what I mean? Okay, that's where we're going to end it, folks. Now, do I absolutely 100% love it? No, but this is day one, month one, step one of doing this. So we're going to leave it as is. This is where I got. I had some, marker problems. And even for balance your life, I wish I would have just centered it completely instead of trying to stagger it a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. It has like the phrases and stuff that I wanted. So find joy, always learn, mom life, work life, creativity, be present, make connections, connect with others, self-care, always learn and create, find the joy, trust the process, make progress, love your people fiercely, healthy choices, be mindful, be with your family. Yeah. So, these are good. So it's a little wonky. So what I'm thinking I might do is just do maybe 2 little small vision boards here for my word balance, just because the February is going to sit on here. And I don't want it to look all crazy with being these things, or I might just put pattern paper back here too. But, I'll show you a flip through, but at least you saw my manifesto come together, and we will maybe do a mixed media page for next month as well, depending on what the prompt is. Thank you so much for joining me in this process. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.